Hello everyone and welcome to another Commander Tactics video. My name's Pope. In today's video we are actually going to be taking a look at 3 of my personal decks, looking at them, diving in, seeing how they operate, and just enjoying my playstyle. Taking a look at what I put in and why and the different power levels depending on what playgroup I'm in. My decks have been sitting around during quarantine collecting dust, so I've definitely just wanted to get my hands on them and fiddle around and take a look at them. This video is going to be a little bit different. Not going to be editing it, just going to be freeform, flowing, letting it go. So, I might mess up or say something incorrectly, but that's okay. It happens. All right, let's start off with this deck on the far right. This is my Grixis Artifacts deck. I was really wanting to play the Grixis colors with artifacts. Couldn't find a commander I liked, so I ended up settling on this partner commando of Silas, Renn, and Vial Smasher the Fierce. Silas Renn going to let us cast our artifacts from the graveyard, a great commander to have 4 artifacts, and then Vial Smasher, just one of my favorite all-time commanders. Whenever you cast your first spell each turn, you randomly deal a bunch of damage to one of your opponents, so just a lot of fun. Alright, we're just going to kind of go through the deck, taking a look at it. Not going to, talk about every single card, but just see what we got in here and why we got it. This deck, if I had to put a power level on it, I'd probably put it right at about the 6 range. It's got a lot of just fun cards that I like that are probably overcosted, but, it's a great deck to just pull out for any fun casual game. Still has a lot of ways to win in it, though. Oh, man. Right off the bat, Scrap Mastery, essentially just a living death for artifacts. Going to flip our artifacts in play and artifacts in our graveyard. A lot of fun. Got some ramp, a lot of ramp. Shimmer Mirror going to allow us to flash in our artifacts. Real helpful. Counter spells. You'll notice that in this deck I am running quite a bit of Proliferate because there are a hefty amount of Planeswalkers. You'll notice almost every Nicol Bolas Planeswalkers in here just because I am a Nicol Bolas fanboy. Noxious Gear Hulk and Duplicant. 2 great removal artifacts. Oh, Inspiring Statuary going to let us cast our non-artifacts by tapping our artifacts, so great help there. Goblin Welder, let us get artifacts back from the graveyard again. Again, here we go. Our first Planeswalker, Liliana. This was, I love this card so much. It was one of the first Planeswalkers, Mythics that I actually cracked myself. I know that's pretty recent, War of the Spark, but I didn't buy a lot of packs in the beginning. I just bought specific cards. So, Liliana, one of my favorites, kind of sentimental, but huge fan of it. Some lands, and here we go. This is one of the main reasons I wanted black in my artifact deck at all. Bolas' Citadel, just a true bomb. Gonna let us cast tons of spells off the top of our deck by paying life. Love that card so much. A land and another Planeswalker. Again, Nicol Bolas. He's just awesome. Had to have him in here. 7 mana to not do really a ton, but we love them. Some counters and lands. Mirage Mirror. If you're a Game Nights fan like myself, you've seen this in work. It has done a ton of stuff, and it can do all sorts of crazy shenanigans. New edition Emery, going to let us mill ourselves and then cast more artifacts from the graveyard. Ugin, reducing the cost of all of our colorless artifacts. Phyrexian Metamorph, one of the newest additions brought in from the Mystery Booster. Just a clone, but it can clone artifacts as well, and it only costs the 3 mana. Testing this card out, the Empowered Auto Generator, because we do run a hefty little package of Proliferate, so can proliferate the counters on it to do more mana generation, some more lands. All my lands in here are from the Portal era, the Portal frame, if they're not basics, that is. This is a new addition. We're trialing this one out. We have a lot of mana reduction in this deck, so we're going to make this cost almost nothing. And then whenever it does do its ability to transform, well, we've got this big old 13/13 Flying, Intimidate, Trample. And if we make a player lose the game, we get to put 13 counters on it. So just a real bomb, if we can make it happen. But just kind of a fun card. Again, this deck's not meant to, blow out combo wins or anything, just fun, crazy cards like that. And that is actually my personal playstyle. A lot of my decks are like that. Some Mana Rocks, Hellkite, Word of Invention, going to tutor us up. Artifact we need whenever Mystery Booster. Recent reprint, great value right now. Thran Dynamo from the what is it, 20th edition? Yeah, 20 from the Vault 20, I think. Weird foiling on these, but really cool. And then, of course, the mainstay card. One of my favorite playmats. Good old Sword of Truth and Justice. Put a +1 counter on something, and then proliferate. Again, lots of planeswalkers, lots of counters in this deck to make that work. Some more lands. Cranial Plating we can equip for double black at instant speed. Super powerful. +1 for each artifact we control. Nicol Bolas again, just a little sub-theme. A lot of Nicol Bolas in this deck because, hey, I love him. Flux Channeler going to help us proliferate. Mana Reduction. Platinum Angel going to help us stay in the game if we need to. Revel in Riches. Not really meant to be a win condition, but it is in there to generate lots of artifacts, lots of treasure artifacts. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, we create a treasure. And then at the beginning of our upkeep, if we have 10 or more treasures, we win the game. But a lot of times, we're not trying to win the game off it again. And when you play that, it's a political move to say, I'm not trying to win the game with it. So, some rocks, some removal, good old Soul Ring. Dalikos, a new addition, trying this guy out. Tap for double colorless mana. Spend it only to cast artifacts and activate abilities of artifacts. And equip creatures we control have flying and haste. And I think there might be a total of 4 equipment, so not really looking to do the equipment thing, but definitely using for that extra ramp. Everflowing Chalice, a Soul Ring, but worse, kinda. Can transition to late game nicely, though. And with our Proliferate, we can make it get big. Deep Glow Skate, recent reprint again in the Mystery Booster. Gonna come in and double all the counters on each permanent we control. Super, super powerful card. And if we have multiple Planeswalkers out, gonna do work. Triskelion. Not sure if I like this guy in here or not, but he's got counters. He's an artifact. See what we can do with that down the line. He's a new addition. Again, and Mystery Booster got printed while quarantine was happening, so we haven't even really got to enjoy all the Mystery Booster stuff yet. Leyline. Some more lands. We got all the artifact lands in here. Mana Reduction. Sai gonna generate us some tokens. And some of our Planeswalkers. We got the Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge. Creatures and Planeswalker spells, you have an affinity for artifacts. So all of our Planeswalkers and the creatures that we cast can be cast by tapping artifacts for them. So a great addition. Does lots of awesome things. Love Tezzeret. Love the art. Foil. Big fan of that card. Saheeli, the commander, also going to create us tokens or reduce our cost of artifacts. Tezzeret going to generate us either some mana, create artifacts, or we can make target creature get +X, -X until end of turn, where X is the number of artifacts. So great removal. Field of the Dead. Lots of uncommon lands in here. So that's going to be great. Thran let us play a historic permanent, so lots of Planeswalkers again. Artifacts. Going to let us cast them for only 4 mana. Mana Reduction. Some removal. Cornucopia. X, but we get to proliferate it if we want to. Baleful Strix, great. Bajukabog, Karn, one of my favorite Planeswalkers. Man, love him. Love this card. Get a card advantage for only +1. Or we can create the Construct, I believe. Yep. And Joyra. If you know Joyra, insane. Combo. Really well. Spark Double. Going to come in as a copy of a Planeswalker because we're running lots of Planeswalkers. Mir, going to blow someone out. Nicol Bolas. Huge fan of this Nicol Bolas printing. Cracked this pack and fell in love instantly. And the best part about it is he's going to be able to do everything all of our other Planeswalkers can do. And of course, in all the Nicol Bolas stuff in here, we had to have him. Ooh, this is one of my favorite cards ever printed. Worm Coil Engine. I saw this altar online and said, I need to have that. Got it for a great deal in this alternate language. I believe it is Japanese. Love this so much. Does 6/6 Death Rattle and Lifelink, and when it dies, you create 2 3/3s, one with Death Touch and one with Lifelink, in case you're not familiar with Worm Coil. Love this altar and love this card so much. Storm the Vault, going to help us generate lots of mana. Soul New Phyrexia, going to help keep our artifacts safe, ready. Going to help us get more cards that we need in hand and artifacts into our graveyard. Awesome. Planeswalker. Dockside Extortionist. I mean, what is there to say about this? Create a ton of treasures, essentially. Pairs very well. Padim, going to give all of our artifacts hexproof. Unwinding Clock, essentially a Seedborn Muse for our artifacts. And then a few lands. So there you go. That's the Grixis Artifacts deck. Huge fan of this deck. Really, really enjoyed playing that. Alright, our next deck. We'll go through the Jace deck next. This is a fun deck that I put together and I really, really, really like. So we Jace, Vryn's Prodigy. Not the most common of blue commanders, but that's because this is a Jace tribal deck. You'll notice that every single card in this deck has to deal with Jace, has Jace in the picture, or Jace in the flavor text. So I'm not really going to talk about a lot of the cards in here because it's a lot of jank, but the fun is that it's all Jace. What I will talk about is just that you're going to see a lot of Jace Planeswalkers, and I'm going to talk about the basic lands real quick. This basic land specifically, this is 265 from Ixalan, and if you wouldn't believe it or not, that's our boy Jace walking in the background there. So every basic in this deck does have Jace in it as well. We got the Jace spellbook in here, of course, all of that. The only things that aren't Jace are the mana rocks, but we did have to have some functionality to make this deck work. But you're going to notice there's Jace in everything. The art, the flavor text, the names. And again, it's a lot of jank, but it's a lot of fun. Planeswalker is always a good time. One of my pet decks that I like to play. But power level wise, I mean, you're looking at probably a 4. Maybe a 4.5. I just like showing this deck off from time to time, and people get excited when I bust it out, but it doesn't bring in a lot of wins, but it brings me brings me a lot of joy, and that's what matters. Thematic Compass, Jace flavor text, Jace's Scrutiny, Tameo. If you didn't know, that's Jace right there holding Tameo's journal. There's a lot of cards in this deck that you might not have even realized Jace was involved in. Azer's Gateway. That's right. That's a little Jace right there. I believe he's on the flavor text on the back. The Jace spellbook was also incredibly awesome. Love the way that looked. Such a neat product. Actually, Hedron Archive. That's a Jace right there. Jace's Sanctum, our basic lands. High Tide, I think, is the only card beyond. Again, Jace not involved, but makes the deck really churn. And yeah, you kind of get the idea. Lots of Jace Planeswalkers, lots of Jace involved. Unsubstantiate. That's Jace right there. Jace right there. Dramatic Versal Jace. You get the idea. Lots of Jace. Huge fan of this deck. Just a lot of fun. We'll go through this last little bit real quick. We got all the spellbook cards. A lot of promos of Jace that are different arts and stuff that I really love. Mind Sculpt. Oof. So sweet. Phantom Warrior, such a weird card. Nothing to really do with Jace, but he's in the flavor text. So one of our very few creatures. This deck does not have many creatures in it, so definitely something unique. Induced Amnesia. New Jace. Omniscience. There you go. If you've never looked at the art, that's him, the man himself. Definitely one of our win cons. Jace's Projection is a card that you would never, ever see in a deck, but it says whenever you draw a card, put a +1 counter on it, and you can put a loyalty counter on a Jace Planeswalker. So, of course, we're taking that. And lastly, Factor Fiction. This version of Factor Fiction, if you aren't familiar, that's him, the man himself. Love this deck. A lot of fun. But again, not exactly blowing people out of the water by any means. I think it's important to have those type of decks, though. They're just really fun to play, and people enjoy seeing them played as well. So that's what Commander should be about. All right, and our last deck, kind of the reverse. This is probably one of my better decks. I would put it at about it's probably 7 on the power scale. Maybe, yeah, probably 7. 7's probably healthy. Very synergized, very focused. It is Muldrotha, the gravetide. Going to be able to cast all of our permanents from our graveyard, and as a bonus, this entire deck is foiled out. So, been working on this deck for quite a while, and it is definitely one of my pride and joys, one of my favorite decks to play, just because all the foiling gets me excited. So, Not going to go over every card again, but let you guys see exactly what this deck is churning out. Garrick, the new Garrick, cracked this on opening night. Love this card. Probably not the best card for the deck, but again, when you open something, it just feels a little more valuable, even if it isn't. But all foil, borderless Garrick. Fertilid, Bolus of Citadel, Villainous Wealth, one of my favorite cards ever printed. Love Chaos, love Lord RNG. That card's going to make it happen. We do have all foil basics from the new Theros because I love my Pokemon lands. Manamo, printed in the most recent Mystery Booster. What a beast. This card used to be so expensive, and, well, now you can get it for a lot cheaper. This is a, what is this? A Pro League Reliquary Tower. Love the art, all foil. Huge fan. Dakmor Salvage. Goes with Gitrog monsters. Very well. Combos off there. Shizu also printed from Mystery Booster. Extremely powerful land. Victimize. This card's a card I've taken out and put back in multiple times in this deck just because it's not a permanent. But we do run a lot of big, powerful creatures. So Victimize can help us bring them back. Swiftfoot Boots, of course. Underrealm Ledge. Going to help us get our cards into our graveyard. The new Thassa, because we are running tons of ETB effects, and this foil Thassa, so pretty. Love this art. Actress, we are testing this guy out, but I love the fun getting other people involved, and what we don't take with his piles, like Fact or Fiction piles, well, we just put him in our graveyard, so we have access to him anyways. Lorwyn promo, Shriekmaw, of course, just comes in, destroy a non-black creature. This is a dual deck, I think. Avengers Zendikar. We run quite a few elementals, so Risen Reef, very powerful. Chupacabra, just going to blow something up. New printing, Yarok from Core 20. What a bomb. Almost probably just on the same power level of Muldrotha, and could run this deck almost the exact same, but I do love Muldrotha, so. Agent of Treachery, well, we're going to steal a lot of stuff. I mean, that's it. This is the, what is this, Commander Arsenal or Commander Anthology? I can't remember exactly which one this is. Soul Ring, but it's got that weird printing of foil where it goes in a line from left to right. Probably going to switch that out for the new event promo Soul Ring whenever that gets here. Sidisi, whenever it enters, going to mill us, going to help us generate a board state while also putting cards in our graveyard. Terastodon, blow up a bunch of things on entry. Siren Stormtamer is going to keep Muldrotha safe. The reason these two are so close together is because we played a game online, me and my play group, and I ran this combo all over them and just blew them out of the water. Buried Alive is going to let us put 3 creatures into our graveyard, and then Living Death is going to swap our board with our graveyard. It was insane. I think I got Yarok, Agent of Treachery, and something else, but so powerful. Love Living Death. This is from the Vault Annihilation, I think. Run this in a lot of my decks that have black in it. Seal, a recurring permanent that we can play with Muldrotha to deal with any artifact or enchantment we might have in play. Some more rocks. Lands, Evolving Wild. I like this art of Evolving Wild. Again, I think it's from the Pro League. F&M, Sinister Sabotage, one of the only counter spells I run in the deck. I'm not a big counter spell player, but definitely love the Surveil edition, and yeah, I love the frame. Huge fan. Gitrog Monster, I mean, if you get Gitrog Monster out with this deck early, gonna do big things. Ashiok, War of the Spark, awesome addition. Mill us for 4 and then exile our opponent's graveyards. Dreamborn Muse, I think this is from Alliances, but it says at the beginning of each player's upkeep, they mill the top cards of their library equal to the number of cards in hand. Awesome for us and detrimental for most of our other friends. Una picked this up from the International Women's Day Secret Lair. Not sure, haven't even got to use it yet, but I thought it would be a lot of fun because this deck is slowly moving towards a mill my opponent's out deck, and I believe we can put a ton of mana into this to get them down their deck size a little more. And Duskmantle Guildmage goes with that a little bit more. Whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, they lose a life. So if we can mill them with our other mill cards, Duskmantle is going to help pop off there. one of our few board wipes. Whew, Elysian Grove. This guy is a bomb. Cracked this in a mystery booster. You may have seen that in one of my previous videos. Huge addition. Help us get land into play. Help us color fix when we need it. And this is one of the box topper versions. So, pretty boy. Tameo from the secret lair that we got. I think it was the Kaleidoscope Killers. So it's the stained glass version. Gonna help us get a card from the top of our deck and mill ourselves, alter, mill our opponents. Lazab, become a creature in our graveyard. Muldrotha is gonna help us draw cards. Ramunap gonna help us get cards from our graveyard. F&M promo version of Eternal Witness. So pretty, love this art and the F&M stamp. This is a Judge promo Commander Sphere, I think. Love that. Animate Dead gonna help us bring back all of our big boys for only 2 mana. Panharmonicon because we have all the entry. Leyline. I mean, it's Leyline. What do you need to know? You need to flash things in. Perpetual Timepiece gonna mill us. World Shaper gonna bring our lands back. Phantasmal Image, a clone, Sakura. We are running Lotus Field, help us get lands in our graveyard, but also can tap for triple. F&M version of Lightning Greaves. Another promo, Acidic Slime. Gaunty, lots of fun. And if we can get that double ETB, that's huge value. Alchemist Refuge got reprinted in the mystery boosters. My god, it's so pretty. One of those cards that wanted for a long time, but wasn't really willing to shell out the money for it. Mystery booster made it happen. This is Butcher of Malakir's from Worldwake, I believe. So incredibly dark. You almost can't even see the card. It's just so dark. Fabled Passage. Best lands printed in a long time. Grave Merchant going to help us round out games now. I do want the F&M version eventually of Grave Merchant just because that alternate frame is sick. And then the all-hated card, Nyx Bloom Ancient. Nyx Bloom Ancient's going to tap everything for triple mana. Has Trample, my goodness, it's just an all-star. Stinkweed, we can dredge. Pernicious Deed, one of our other board wipes. Great Hinge, this awesome addition to this deck. It's a permanent, so we can recast it with Muldrotha. And if we have Muldrotha out, it's only going to cost us 3 mana. We'll tap for 2 mana, gain us some life, draw us some cards. It does it all. And that is going to do it for that deck. Muldrotha, definitely one of my pride and joys. But, hey, that is going to do it. That is our decks we previewed today. I have several more, but I just wanted to kind of go over these, show you guys. Let me know what you think. What did you think of this video? You guys want to see some more of my decks? Get an idea of some more different things that I play. These are really what I take with me. I actually play all of these and enjoy them a lot. But, hey, thanks so much for watching, guys. Maybe we'll do another one of these next week. Go over a couple different decks that we got and go from there. But, hey, if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button to know when our next video goes live. New video every Friday. If you're a Twitter user, head on over there, drop us a follow at EBH Tactics. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you for the next one.